Okay, this video is about how plants resist disease. That is, how plants protect themselves from getting sick and dying. So, the first thing we need to understand is that there are pathogens everywhere. There's pathogens in the soil, in the water, and in the air, all around plants. Remember, pathogens are these things. These little tiny organisms or infectious agents that cause disease. So, that can also include insects when we're talking about plants. Things like viruses and bacteria are also pathogens, along with fungi and little microbial protists. So, pathogens can infect plants. Plants can get sick. Plants can also heal themselves. So, you've probably seen plants that are sick. Sometimes they look like this. That's a grapevine. Or like this, that's a tropical plant. That's the one that mine get all the time. This is some sort of squash variety that has some kind of fuzzy mold on it. But plants have many defenses against pathogens. Probably the one that you see the most often is this. This is tree bark. Tree bark kind of works like your skin. So your skin forms a barrier that helps keep germs and pathogens out of your body. The bark on a tree does the same thing. It helps keep pathogens from getting inside of the tree. Lots of plants have sort of a waxy or woody exterior outside part that does the same thing. It helps prevent diseases from getting inside the plant. So, again, when we're talking about plants, because a plant can't like get up and run away, plants also have defenses against animals, and one of their defenses that works really well is thorns. So this is a cactus. Sometimes humans eat those. We call them nopales, but we always get rid of those nasty looking spikes first. You can imagine if you were like a hungry deer, it would be really, really painful to bite down on a cactus and get one of those spikes in your soft mouth. So those are some of the ways that a plant protects itself, like on the outside. On the inside, plants use poisons to fight off diseases. So a plant's immune system is kind of poison-based, which is sort of spooky. Many plants produce poisons called monoterpenoids, which is a really freaky name for something that affects humans like not at all, basically. So humans can take advantage of these monoterpenoids and we can use them for our own benefit. In fact, some of you may even use these like every single day. So another way to say monoterpenoid is essential oil. So essential oils, we can find those at grocery stores, we can find those at Walmart and Target, and we like them as humans because they smell really good. And plants use them to repel insects. They use them to keep insects away. We use them as spices and as perfumes, and we also use them to keep insects away. One that we probably know better than anything is this one. This is citronella. So citronella candles are super common in the summertime because they help keep mosquitoes and other flying bugs away. Mosquitoes hate that smell. They don't like them. And it doesn't seem to bother humans much. Some people aren't crazy about the way they smell, but they're much better than getting bit by mosquitoes. Another thing that people sometimes do is they plant mint like all around their outdoor area. Animals and insects don't like the smell of mint. We as humans like it. We use it to freshen our breath and things like that. So plants use essential oils to not only keep insects away, but to fight them off if they were to get an infection inside of them. So some plants also produce poisons for vertebrates. So essential oils are kind of like a poison or a repellent for insects, but there are also plants that are dangerous to vertebrates. Things like animals, like mice and rodents, deer, rabbits, things that eat plants, and also us humans. So this is a plant called foxglove. It's really pretty, but foxglove is one of the most toxic things on the planet for humans. It causes your heart to beat arrhythmically, so makes your heart beat not the way it's supposed to, and it can cause death like pretty quickly. Another one that you might be familiar with is monarchs and the milkweed. So milkweed is toxic to pretty much everything except monarchs. So when monarchs eat the milkweed, they, as caterpillars, they ingest a whole lot of the toxic milkweed, so much that when they pupate and turn into butterflies, the butterflies are actually toxic themselves and they taste bad. So when birds and things like that eat the monarch or try to eat the monarch, they get a really nasty, nasty flavor inside their mouth and they learn, I don't want to be eating monarchs anymore. So monarchs have kind of taken advantage of this natural thing in the milkweed and used it to help them be more successful as a species. So there's another poison for vertebrates, or another deterrent for vertebrates, that humans have actually taken a like to. And that is a compound found in chili peppers called capsaicin. So most animals, most mammals, do not like capsaicin. They do not like things spicy. I remember once my cat got a little bit of Tabasco sauce in his mouth. He likes to steal pizza, and the pizza had Tabasco sauce on it, and he was super upset. It was very painful for him. He didn't like it at all. Humans have learned to like this burn. So we are a little bit different from our other mammal friends, but the capsaicin is one way that the peppers help prevent themselves from getting eaten. And it works for basically everything that is not a human or a bird. Birds are immune to capsaicin. They can't taste it. They don't have the right receptors on their tongue. And it's really interesting why people think peppers have evolved this capsaicin. That's something to look into a little bit later if you're curious, but it's pretty interesting. So we know that plants have these natural defense mechanisms to help them fight off disease if they get sick, and also prevent disease and pests and even other herbivores and things like that from eating them. So lately, we have started genetically modifying some organisms to add genes for resistance to specific diseases. And sometimes what we do is we go to a wild variety and we take out the genes from like a wild potato and put it into a conventional potato, so that those potatoes now have those disease resistance genes. Other times we take genes from a totally different organism, usually a bacterium, and we insert those into the plant's genome, so now the plant produces something that makes it immune or resistant to that specific disease. So here is a video about that. So look for this video next and watch it and come back here.